We're live. Welcome to episode 10 of the Cubbie Climb. I'm Jacob. Over here is Blake. And then over there is Brett on the far right. My left, your right. Another episode. It's been about a month. Last episode of the regular season per se. Thank you for joining us. As always, if you have questions for any of us, feel free to drop them in the comments, whether you're on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Those are the only three that we're live streaming on. So any of those three, feel free to drop the questions. We got a loaded show, lots of baseball to talk about. Minor league baseball, Major League Baseball, regular season, playoffs, and then, of course, football. Because what would this show be without a little bit of NFC North banter? But before we get started, how are you guys doing? It's almost time for playoff baseball.
It's doing good. Feels like Christmas Eve, man. It's time to roll. We covered the team as a whole for the whole season. We've covered Brett for his whole season, and now it's kind of it's coming to a T. We're putting a bow on this thing, and this is the best month of baseball is yet to come when your team's still playing October. So it's we're in the right spot.
Yeah, went straight out to Phoenix at the end of the year. Still getting working on a few things. Getting stronger again for that next year. But I'm super excited. I've got a really early day tomorrow in at the facility, so I can come straight home and turn on the game. I will be watching, so I'm super excited. I hope Boyd's gonna shove, and the boys got a good matchup tomorrow against Pavetta. So. Yeah, it's gonna be a great series. And I'm super excited.
So you kind of mentioned how you're in Phoenix, and when we were coordinating different times for the episode, I realized Brett. I kept acting as if you were still in Eastern time, and then I realized he's probably not still on the East Coast. And so I wasn't sure if you were back home or if you were out in Arizona. So that makes sense. Oops. It's not too late for you guys then. It's 7:30 for me, but what, Brett, that would be 5:30 for you?
4:30. AZ doesn't do the time change. So we're kind of weird. So we're in Pacific time.
Okay. That makes sense then. Well, yeah, so you're in Arizona. It's sort of the first thing that I wanted to ask before we go into the main takeaways from the baseball season. It's a good transition here. How locked in on baseball do you stay? Because obviously you want to get better, but some guys say yeah, I want to take a month off, or I want to take a few weeks off just to relax. You said that you're still training, so that sort of helps with a little bit, but how is that transition from every single day you are at the field grinding for 5 to 6 hours, if not more, and all of a sudden there's no games, it's just practices and training? How do you handle that?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, even now it's really nice because I usually get to the facility at it depends on when we start. I have an early morning tomorrow, so I'll get to the facility 7:30. But today I didn't get to the facility till 9:15, and I probably finished up around 1. So I mean, we're still here for a little while. It's lift. We're still doing some defensive stuff, some hitting stuff. And a lot of it is individually focused because this is kind of like an invite only camp. So I would say there's probably maybe 15 to 20 position players, maybe a little bit more, that are all minor league guys. And it's super nice to, not have to worry about playing. And that spring training's still out a while. And for some guys, that aren't at the camp, a lot of them are like, oh man, I don't really know what to do with my day because I have so much. They go and train for an hour and then they hit for an hour. It's kind of the same here. We're not really, I wouldn't say hitting it hard, but we kind of are still. A lot of guys, we're lifting pretty hard, and this is the time to get your strength back that you lost during the season. So um, it, I'm not really thinking about playing games right now. That's not really my focus. I'm more focused on more of development type thing, because there still is a lot to be had constantly. So yeah, that's kind of what I would say about the immediate change of, like you said, being at the field for 7+ hours a day to being at the facility and doing stuff for an hour, 2 hours a day.
Well, and you mentioned the invite only aspect of this. Is this I'm not sure how much you can tell us, but like, is this a mandatory thing or is it more of an optional, like, hey, we'd love for you to come down because I didn't, obviously players are going to have vacations and go spend time with their family, go home. Is this we really want you here, or hey, we'd love to have you, but you don't have to come? Like, how does that aspect of it work?
Yeah, I mean, it's I think with the new MLBPA rules, they can't make it mandatory.
Okay.
So it is technically like in you can choose. So like some guys, for example, like Johnny Long, he got an invite, but he wanted to take a few weeks off. Like that's normal. He played almost every single game this year. And so he's still coming out though a little bit later. So some guys do that. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Like for me, I've always, talked with my family about it. Like if I ever get an invite, I'm always gonna say yes. Because it's good, to be around, you create relationships that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'd be doing the exact same thing at home, but I get to do it here where it's a little bit warmer and you know, have eyes on me, be taught the right way, even like hitting and stuff like that too. So I feel like I just develop out here a lot better than, if I were at home. So
Yeah, we're talking about the off season, but I want to go back just toward the your end of your season because you got to finish fairly healthy and you got to finish strong. I don't want to turn this into hey, do you think you had a good season or a bad season? Because I don't even think that's how you would specifically put it in your head. Was there something that you were happy that you were able to accomplish this year specifically, or maybe like a goal that you had set that you really think you smashed, or vice versa? Was there something you think you may have come up short on that you need to work on for next season? How do you view the whole 2025 Brett Bateman season in your eyes?
Um, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of improvement, but I think that from where we started the year with the injury to the hamate bone, and then there were a lot of injuries during the year, totally changed my swing stance. Like so when we started doing that in spring training, so it was like I got a small amount of time in spring training trying something, then I got injured, and then it was straight to playing. Like I didn't really get that many. I didn't play at all during spring training with,
Mm-hmm.
switching up my stance, trying to create, a little bit more exit velocity, and then went into the season, started off strong, and then, like we said, battled a few more injuries, like the wrist blew up again, and then had knee issues. Um, and yeah, I mean, hit playing in probably one of, if not the hardest leagues to hit in, if you look at the statistics. The Southern League is probably like one of the lowest average OPSs um, in minor league baseball. You have the pitching wise, you have the Brewers, you have the Marlins, you have the Reds, you have the Rays, like you have the White Sox, a bunch of teams that, haven't really performed very well over the last few years and now have a bunch of these really young, talented crop type players that, double A, if you can play in double A, you can play anywhere. So a lot of these guys are there. Hagen Smith is there. Chase Burns was here for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, faced Chase Petty and Brett Lauder, Thomas White for the Marlins. He's in AAA now. Like there's a bunch of guys. Noah Schultz is in AAA for the White Sox that you face, and for how difficult the pitching was and all the things that was thrown my way, I absolutely think I had a great year. The defense was kind of the one thing that wasn't as affected, and the defense was great this year, like metrically, statistically. Very good defensive year, so I'm really happy with that. I made a lot of steps with like my first step as well. Decreasing the time I take from my first step when the ball hits off the bat. Like there are a lot of positives. Obviously, I would have loved to hit the ball harder. I had more power. But that's kind of what we're trying to tap into this year, figuring out mechanically what we can do to create bat speed a little bit more instead of like it being strength. Thinking about it more as, figuring out some mechanic stuff. But yeah, I think it was a fantastic year for a lot of the things that were thrown at me. Kind of see it as like a bug injury year and just, hopefully for how it was this year can move on to next year.
And so you talked about getting to, depending on the day, you're getting to the field at 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. What else? Because you mentioned the other players that are sometimes like, I don't know what to do. What do you like? How do you stay busy? Because I figure like I mentioned, it's such a crazy transition. I know I already sort of mentioned and asked this in the previous question about going from 7 to 9 hours at the ball field where you're busy the whole time, and now it's 3 to 4 hours training, maybe a little more, and then every night all of a sudden it's like, oh, I have nothing to do. Are you watching more sports? Like, are you going to be locked in on the playoffs? Do you want to sort of, other than the Cubs, take a step back? Is it football? Is it basketball? Video games, movies? What are you going to do to keep yourself busy throughout the off season, other than training to get better and improve that bat speed and power, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of video games. I do like baking and cooking in general. So I actually just baked a batch of cookies on Sunday, so I brought a few in today for some of our strength
Nice.
coaches because you gotta feed the boys,
Yeah.
to have some. And just kind of stuff like that. Like you said, a lot of sports. Like I'm literally Saturdays and Sundays we have off, and I sit on the couch, turn on YouTube TV, have the Quadra multi-view, and watch, a bunch of football, which I absolutely love to do. And then yeah, I mean sometimes like, when some guys get together out, we'll all go out as a group, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean it's a lot of you time. Like I used to, I mean, not really, but I like reading still. Like on Saturday mornings, I'll get up, and Sunday mornings, I'll get up and go get a chai and read a little bit. Kind of stuff like that, like just some things to chip away at the time. But I would say like the majority of it is probably playing video games with like Johnny Long and James Triantos and Michael Carrico, like kind of the guys, that were in my class or I spend a lot of time with, during spring training, other stuff like that.
And what are I know video games, it changes depending on the new games that release. What are the few games that you're playing like tonight? Like, what are we
He's
hopping on? What are we
he's
playing
hit
with the
he's
boys?
hitting 30 bombs on the show, like that screenshot you sent. He's putting
No,
up
Oh
those.
I
no.
actually don't play the show. I don't understand how like there are a lot of baseball players that like will finish a game in real life and then go home and play the show. And I'm like, how I
Yeah.
that's like the last thing I want to do. Like I just want to unplug. So I don't
Right.
play MLB the show at all. I play 2K26. I got Johnny Long and Michael Carrico on Valorant, which I've been playing like a lot for a while. Santos plays that with us. Fortnite every now and then. We'll do the good old box fights. If there's like some beef to settle, but I don't know. I mean, that's we don't really play like that many games. We kind of just keep the same rotation for the most part. But yeah, like when it becomes off season, everyone, gets on the sticks for all the times that they can't. And it's pretty fun because it's kind of the same thing. Like Monday is gonna be like go to the field, come back, play video games, watch Monday Night Football, and then probably play video games after they go to bed, unless if I'm like cooking something.
Yeah, just
So
hanging out.
it's kind of like that. Like it's a pretty chill life. Like I'm not gonna lie, we're pretty spoiled in that fact. And I always tell my parents that like, oh, my first job is to, get strong and hit a ball and get to meet a bunch of really cool people that are really talented at something that I am too, and I get to share that with them. So it's a pretty blessed life. And I always try to, make myself remember that it's a privilege to have this job. So.
Who are the best? You mentioned the group of like Johnny Long, Torontos. I know you had mentioned Casey. Obviously he's busy now, but you had mentioned playing with him a while back. But who's the best gamers there? Who's the guys that you're like, yeah, I'll play with them, but they're 100% winning? Or is it you? Are you the one that everyone's like, fine, I'll play with Brett, but then you just crush them and everything?
Yeah, I think if you ask Johnny and Carrico, box fights, it definitely goes my way. Like Valorant, they've been calling me 1997 to 1998 Michael Jordan.
Nice.
So that pretty much tells you how much I'm carrying them. They just said we're the role players, you do it all. But when I played with Owen was really, really good. Actually, I mean, I've heard, I don't know if this is true, but I know for a fact that Brandon Birdsell is one of the best, if not the best Fortnite player in this organization. Fun little
Okay.
fact. He is gross. Like
Interesting.
it's a different world. I also heard that Ethan Conrad, the new first rounder, is very good at Fortnite. I've never played with him. I just heard that he's extremely good, and he's extremely good at builds too. So it's kind of terrifying. But Birdsell doesn't play builds. So Birdsell is like I played with him last year a lot during spring training. And wow, that dude would drop 25, 30 kills in no build. It was unbelievable. Um, like
We're
actually,
gonna have
like
to do
I
our
feel like I was
research on
playing with a
this.
pro.
We're gonna have
Dude,
to do our research on this, and
he's very
yeah,
good at the game.
We're gonna need to get
Um,
you guys hooked up on a Twitch stream or something, so
I
the
may.
fans can watch the Brandon Birdsell, Brett Bateman, and Johnny Long trios, or
I
go at
mean,
it on Fortnite. I think that'd be something the fans would
dude,
want.
me and Johnny would not do anything. Like we would get like if me and Johnny got a combined like 10 kills, like I would be happy because Birdsell just cleans him up because he actually is different.
I may need to find out about this. Yeah, we'll have to do some digging. And you mentioned Ethan Conrad too. There's another one. See, you think that Jed and Dan Kandrovich and all them, they're building a team to win. No, they're just building to have the best Fortnite pipeline in Major League
Well,
Baseball. Like
I'm
they,
sure that there are a lot of players
oh,
like in
100%.
different
Oh,
orgs
100% there
too
are.
that
Yeah,
are nasty.
yeah.
There are a
Ellie
lot
De
of
La
guys on this
Cruz
team
was
that are really
playing.
good at 2K.
Are there
So,
who's good at 2K?
my roommate Tyler Slaver is good at 2K.
Okay.
I don't know who he plays with. I think he plays with Cole Franklin too. But yeah, there are some 2K demons on our in
Huh.
our team here because they talk about it all the time. So
That's funny. So pivoting away from video games for a quick second, we do have some big baseball playing tomorrow. The Cubs are in the playoffs against San Diego Padres. First time since 2020. First time at home since, I guess, 2020. But first time in a full season since 2018. Let's talk about mindset, because I'm sure you've played in a big game where the night before you're probably sitting there thinking, like, you got to lock in. Like, tomorrow's big. Everyone in the clubhouse knows this is must win. It's go time. Does preparation change? Is it known in the is the vibe different knowing it's win or go home, or do you try to keep it as status quo as possible?
yeah, well, I remember like the first year I got drafted, I got shipped straight out to Myrtle after like 2 games in the ACL, and they had already clinched in the playoffs. So that was my first year. And then last year, so I get to play in the playoffs in low A, like first 8 weeks. So I played a playoff series against Charleston River Dogs, who was the Rays low A. And then last year I played started in South Bend and then got on to the Knoxville Smokies team by the end of the year. And that team was a team with Shaw, Ballesteros, Alcantara,
Mm-hmm.
Triantos, Cade was there for a while before he got called up, like Birdsell before he got called up, all those guys. And they had already clinched in the first half. So I played in 2 playoff series my first 2 years, starting leading off. Well, actually, in double A, I wasn't leading off. I was playing center field in the Myrtle Beach, I was, but it I would say like it's probably definitely different in major leagues. Yeah, absolutely. Like there is 100% pressure. Like anyone that tells you that there is no pressure is lying. But I know for a fact that that room is, very veteran filled, and that's why, they signed a lot of guys that they did, to help these guys like Pete, Moises, stay calm and cool and collected because there absolutely is. I mean, you're playing a 3-game wild card series at home against the Padres, who have Tatis, Machado, Arise. You're facing legit bullpen arms. You're facing legit starter arms. Like, absolutely, there's pressure. And even when I was in minor league ball, like the park's filled. Like our first game was in Charleston. That place was filled to the brim. And it's loud and it's cool. It's a great experience. But like more of a preparation start, I would probably say that they're probably going to keep the majority of it the same. This team won 92 games, right? That's how much it was. And they did that
Mm-hmm.
for a reason. So um, I'm sure that a lot of the guys, yeah, they're going to have, some butterflies, but they're going to still, go through their routines as if it's the same, and, treat it like a regular season day game. And, and that's why they're successful because they come to field, they get their job done, and that's what I would probably expect for them to do next year. or
You
not
say
next year, this week.
you say like, yeah, they'll treat it like a regular game, and then me over here like, it's all I can think about. Tomorrow when I wake up, I will be a nervous wreck. And I'm again, I don't even, I don't play for the team. I don't work for the team, but I've already like my roommate here. I've already told him from about 3 o'clock until 7 o'clock, I will be emotionally unstable. Like, just know you probably shouldn't come in here. And so it's amazing that, like you said, because these guys are, calm, cool, collected, especially because you have the Matthew Boyds, you have the Justin Turners, you have the Dansby Swanson, who Dansby and Justin been there, done that. Kyle Tucker been there, done that. So you have these guys that are able to keep it calm. I just think it's a funny contrast how they're like, yeah, we're nervous, but we just got to go out and do our business. And I'm over here just like every pitch. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm freaking out over here. And it's kind of a cool contrast, especially because, as Blake said, we haven't had playoff baseball in a long time because I don't count 2020 and I don't really count any of that season. So you look back to 2018 and before that, 2017. So it's been quite a while. It's been 8 years since there was a full series of Cubs playoff baseball, which is also why I think I don't know how to react to it because I'm not used to my teams being in the playoffs, especially Cubs, Bears, Blackhawks. It's been a bit for those teams since they've seen success, but it's going to be fun. And like you mentioned, the Padres are stacked. So no matter where the tides turn, you got some elite talent that you're going to be able to watch on both sides of the field. It should be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really, really excited.
I'm extremely excited to watch a lot of these series. Actually, there's a lot of teams, especially towards the end, that have caught some flames, and a majority of them are like actually have buys. Like Mariners and the Blue Jays both have buys, and those are two of the more exciting teams that I'm super excited to watch. Just because they haven't really been there in a while. The Blue Jays, I think, made the playoffs maybe 2 years ago when they faced the Twins in the wild card series. And since then I don't think they had a great year last year, but they're a lot better this year, and they've kind of like not really been a hype train. Like it's been like, oh yeah, they're the one seed. They've been the one seed all
Mhm.
like almost all year. Like they're the first team to 50 wins in the MLB. Like you don't really notice that until you get there, and they have that talent. Kirk, Springer, Bichette, Vlad, like they've got the guys, and no one really talks about it. So I'm excited to see them. I'm excited to see the Mariners. The Reds sneaking in too is really cool. Even though they're, a division rival, it's still pretty sweet. They're a super fun team. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really fun playoffs.
Any playoff hot takes or like who's winning it all? Obviously,
Dude,
like fun answers the Cubs, but who do you think? I have the Mariners. I think the Mariners are going to win it all. Are there any teams that you think are going to be a little sneaky this October?
I think the Reds are gonna beat the Dodgers.
I have them picked
Um,
too.
I have them picked.
Good,
Yeah.
I
good
think
take. Great take.
I think you ride the hot hand, and they have been swinging it. They've been pitching well. Um, Yeah, I think the Reds, like that's my big, upset. I think the Reds are going to beat the Dodgers. Um, but other than that, I think the Cubs, should take care of business. Um,
Great take.
the ALs
Great
are
take.
I
the
like that.
ALs
I like that
is
take.
it's Tigers in Cleveland, right? Is
Yes,
that
Tigers,
the
Cleveland, Red
yeah,
Sox. So I
that's
guess we'll ask.
Red Sox,
I don't want
Yankees,
to.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to ask. I don't because I know guys in the Cubs team and stuff. So I'm not going to say how far the Cubs are going to go. But I'm curious on the AL. Let's get both of your predictions here. Tigers first matchup: Tigers versus Guardians. Obviously, the Tigers blew one of the biggest division leads in baseball history, and they've played once a week for the last 3 weeks. Now they're back again.
Yeah.
Cleveland is the hot hand. Who do you guys have? Tigers at Guardians.
I'm taking the Guardians, man. I don't think you can blow that kind of lead and then flip the switch. I think that's a tough hill to climb. But they have Scooble game one, and like we were kind of talking before the show, a lot of these wild card series have not been going to 3 games since they started. It's been a lot of 2-0s. So I think if you're the Tigers, you like Scooble, but the Guardians are so hot, man.
Yeah, I just think the big question mark is that Tigers bullpen. It's not really been the starters because they've been pretty good, but Um, I also just don't think I can go against Cleveland right now, man. Like that's like winning and having momentum, continuing that into playoffs is a real thing. And that's why I think it's going to be pretty hard for, the Mariners, the Brewers, all these teams that are, having to buy. Like having a buy is a real thing. And then having to play a team that just played a series, like that can also play into effect. I think we maybe had talked about that earlier last year, but
Hmm.
um, yeah, like it'll be interesting after these teams win the wild card, how they're able to keep their momentum going into, playing these 1 and 2 seeds because like I said, like having a break is a big thing. Um, Especially when, a team's hot. So I'm probably gonna take the Guardians though.
The most fun matchup of the whole playoffs, maybe Red Sox Yankees in the Bronx. Obviously, Garrett Crochet, Shove Day, Max Fried. That'll be a great game. I'm going to go Red Sox here. I think the Red
Yeah.
Sox and Crochet. I think the Red Sox are hot. I don't trust the Yankees off. I'm saying that's crazy because they have Aaron Judge. I don't know. I don't trust them against the Red Sox, who have been a very hot team, and their offense feels really deep.
I'm with you. That was my preseason prediction of the AL was the Boston Red
Same. I think we
Sox.
both were.
I think we both were. I'm riding that all the way, man. I think the stat was like the Red Sox have won like 9 or 10 in a row against the Yankees. It was something crazy.
They've done
But
very well against the Yankees
yeah,
this year.
I think that's going to continue. I think I like them overall in the playoffs, but especially in this one.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of a coin flip for me. I'm just trying to think about the matchups when it comes to hitting. Crochet has done a very good job against the Yankees this year, especially Aaron Judge. And Aaron Judge, like a lot of baseball fans know, he kind of becomes a question mark in the playoffs. I think he gets pitched up to a little bit different in the playoffs than what he does during the regular season, which is a little bit interesting. But I think I'm gonna have to go with the home team here. It's hard for me to say that the Yankees aren't gonna win a home series, especially when their matchup against Crochet is, in my opinion, better than the Red Sox matchup against Max Fried. Um, Again, the Yankees bullpen is a little bit of a question. Red Sox is definitely better in that situation, but I think I got to go with the home team here. Giancarlo Stanton's having an unbelievable season, and he has
Yeah.
been hitting very well towards the end of the stretch as well. And as we know, last year he was the big bat for the Yankees, and if he can continue that, if Judge can figure out just even how to be an above average hitter, like that's still a very, very scary offense. So I think I'm going to go with the Yankees here, to edge one out at home against the Red Sox. But if the Red Sox win, it's not like I'm going to be disappointed. I'd love to see, them move on as well. But I think I'm going to take the Yankees here.
So you both have Guardians against the Mariners in the ALDS. Are you going with the hot hand in the Guardians, or are you going with the Mariners, who, like Brett said, are going to have a few days off, could rest their pitching, but the bats are going to be not necessarily hot like the Guardians? Who are you guys going with in that Seattle-Cleveland matchup?
I'm not buying the Mariners hype, unfortunately. I know it's fun. I've just seen them collapse, I think, too many times in the playoffs, and it's kind of like one of those things. I'm not going to stop seeing that in my head until I stop seeing it on the TV. And maybe that's unfair to this Mariners team because Cal Raleigh is the truth and they have all the right pitching pieces in place, but the Guardians are so red hot, man. I see them in the ALCS.
Yeah. I mean, for me, is Brian Wu is hurt, right? He's
Yes.
still is he questionable for being able to pitch after the break or
Huh? Yes, I believe so. Let's find out.
because that's a
It
big
looks like
hit
he's
for them.
questionable. It says good deal of optimism, but still a little worryful. And yeah, that would be really bad if they don't have one of the best pitchers in baseball. It looks like that's questionable as of now.
I think I'm gonna take the Mariners, even though I said it. I just think that their pitching is just so good. It is really, really good. You have like George Kirby, Logan Gilbert. You still have Luis Castillo. Andres Munoz has been one of the best closers this year. Caleb Ferguson, Matt Brash out of the bullpen. Like you got some guys that like these are like legit top 100 arms in the MLB. Even though Logan Gilbert hasn't really been like the best this year. Like he's kind of had a step back year compared to last year. He's still Logan Gilbert, and we know that. And then like even their position players, star-studded. Cal Raleigh, 63 homers, 62. I think it's 63. JP Crawford, Jorge Polanco, Eugenio Suarez. Like it's not a lineup that you can say, oh, as long as we score 4 runs, we're gonna beat these guys. And then the outfield, you have an experienced Randy Arozarena and Julio Rodriguez. Like it's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around the Guardians, beating this team that's so star-studded. I think that if they're able to do it, it's a safe pick to take the Mariners. So I'm gonna take the Mariners.
Last two for the AL. Last two matchups. First, we have the other ALDS game. Brett has Yankees versus the Blue Jays. Blake has Red Sox versus the Blue Jays. Blue Jays, obviously, one of the best teams in baseball, especially you look at that lineup. It was close with the Yankees divisional, but that also means they were playing and they were hot until the end. They didn't have a little bit of a rest period other teams, such as the Brewers did. So I'll start with you, Blake. Red Sox or Blue Jays for your bracket? Who are you going to the ALCS with?
I'm riding that Red Sox train all the way to the World Series. I'd pick them over the Blue Jays and the Guardians as well, getting a step ahead. I just picked them at the beginning. I think they're one of those teams that's good enough to get there. And overall, the field in the AL is so wide open. You could say any of these teams make the World Series. And I think outside of really the Detroit Tigers, just because of how bad they've played, I'd believe you. So I think there's a case for anyone, but I picked the Red Sox. I want to be right from the jump. So I'm picking them against Toronto.
Well, yeah. And like I said, the Red Sox, again, I had them too. So that will be fantastic. And they're such a fun team. Brett, you had the Yankees against the Blue Jays. Who's winning there? And then who do you have winning between one of those teams and the Seattle Mariners in the ALCS?
I mean, I think I'm gonna take the Yankees as well. I think they're gonna continue. I'm a big fan again of like the star-studded power, and I think the Yankees are going to be able to do it. Like I think if there's a year that Aaron Judge is going to figure it out, a year where he's having one of the best years in MLB, and he's told that he's not going to. There's a legit chance that he doesn't win the MVP, even though he's hitting 310 to 320 with 50 something home runs and a 1.2 almost nearly OPS, and you're telling me he's not going to win the MVP. It's kind of hard for me to be like give him even more of a push, to want even more. So I think I'm going to take the Yankees again, to move on to play the Mariners, which would be a great matchup as well. Not saying that the Red Sox and Guardians wouldn't be that. I'm sure that a lot of fans that have been sick and tired of the same teams over and over again, moving on, would not love to see that and say, oh wow, the Red Sox, who kind of had questionable years in the past few years, and the Guardians, who had a great run and then like kind of blew it away. One of those teams is going to the World Series. Like that sounds amazing. So, but I think give me the Yankees here. I'm gonna keep continuing that train of the wild card team.
So are you going with the Yankees over the Mariners as well?
No, I would definitely take the Mariners over the
Okay.
over the Yankees.
Yeah. And then lastly, I guess, Blake, I know you said Red Sox. Brett, I'll open it up to all of Major League Baseball. Official prediction right now, who is winning the 2025 Major League Baseball World Series?
I'm gonna go with probably one of the. I would say like they have more of a ceiling, and I think that a lot of them would agree with that. But they've played good baseball this year. Had a few injuries here and there, but I think Cade Horton comes back and just absolutely shoves and throws master classes.
There you
Give me
go.
the Chicago Cubs
Come on.
to win it all.
Come on.
Um,
Come on.
they have more than a legit chance. I think it's just like we said, like it's the bullpen, but their hitting's roof, position players' roof is so high, and I still have a lot of faith, in the bullpen. Because like I said, like there were a lot of moves that they made that Kitteridge has been really, really good for us. And
Yep.
like other guys like that we've also made moves for. So I have a lot of faith in this team, to go far. Like I said, but um those position players, Kyle Tucker, Pete, like say say is
All of them.
say is hot too. Like it's a dangerous lineup, and I'm like I said, I'm just super excited to see how they are going to play in the
The, the
postseason.
whole the whole lineup is getting really hot. Like you said, Saya,
Yeah.
he just won Player of the Week with 5 home runs. Michael Bush, hello, he's
Yep.
hitting like 85 home runs, and then he's getting intentionally walked by a fraudulent organization. And so then Michael Bush is all of a sudden he's almost hitting for a cycle, and he's hitting home runs every single at bat. This whole lineup is getting really hot, and I was looking at like the Keith Horton thing, and after the MRI, it was like, ooh, didn't sound good. It was a little worrisome. And then it's like, yeah, he coughed and he broke a rib. And I'm like, what? How? Huh? And it sounds like after he talked to the media, he was not overworked. That sounds like a poor connotation, but he's exhausted, which makes sense because he has put the team on his back, which makes sense why his back was hurt. But he's put the team on his back and just carried them to the postseason because he will. I mean, bias aside, he's my Rookie of the Year pick, and I think he will probably end up winning Rookie of the Year just because of how dominant he was with. It's just, I mean, every single stat, and you guys both know, the viewers know, the dude can shove, and if he's able to get back for the NLCS and the World Series, that would be huge because, like Brett said, this lineup ceiling is it. Feel free to heat check me here. Do they have the highest ceiling of any lineup in the playoffs?
I think the Dodgers probably edge
Okay,
us
yeah,
out because
I'm
that's
okay with that.
those are studs, and the Cubs
Yeah,
have
no,
studs
you're
too.
true.
Don't
You're
get me
right.
wrong,
Yeah,
but
Yeah,
I think
and
second. I
experience
think the
too.
Cubs are second.
Like you have some pretty young guys in our lineup too, Pete,
Okay.
Moises, and Matt. Assuming that like a righty starting, Moises is probably DHing. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really know how it's gonna look, but
yeah. I don't know.
maybe I don't know actually. It would be interesting. Now I think about it, he might not be starting, but like I said, regardless, Shaw's your third baseman, and you have Pete in center. You've got some pretty young guys, and the Dodgers are a little bit older. Um, so I would probably say the Dodgers ceiling, but I would say that the Cubs act like legit have the second highest ceiling, which if you're a Cubs fan, that's got to be pretty dang exciting. And I mean, you have guys on the bench too. Like even if Moises doesn't start, because I think that there's a legit world where that doesn't happen because it is a playoff game. He still can
Mhm.
come off the bench and absolutely rake. Like he's shown that. So
His
um,
swing is so pretty.
yeah, so it'll be pretty cool. But yeah, I mean they have those bats, man.
Yeah.
Them
Would you?
bats.
He caught the other day, or he caught yesterday. I don't know. Maybe you give him a start at catcher. They won't in the playoffs, but would be kind of.
I think Amaya's
Would be kind of
back.
fun.
Um,
I think he's coming back. Yeah.
yeah, so should be
Yeah,
nice.
I guess they'll announce that roster soon. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I know, like guys on the bubble, guys that you've interacted with a ton, like Owen Casey. Like, if he's healthy from his concussion, he's a bubble guy. And Alcantara, if he is going to be that base stealer, that late game base stealer, like that's a role he can play, even just an outfield bat or glove that you'll need at some point. Like bubble guys, yeah, it'll be interesting.
I mean, we did sign
Exciting.
Billy Hamilton, and I did
I
see him
know.
here in
They
Arizona.
haven't said, they haven't said much about that.
Yeah, I don't know. There were a bunch of guys here that were here for Taxi Squad, just for like the last few games. I don't really know any of the information, like I said, about the roster
Yeah.
stuff. So
There's a loophole, and I'm not sure how, but since he's not on the 40 man, but he was in the organization in August, there's a loophole to get him onto this roster. Because, like you said, that's the only reason they signed him. We don't need Billy Hamilton because he can't hit, but he's so fast. And he was stealing bases. Like the main MLB Twitter account was posting, like, "Hey, you remember this guy? He's in AAA, tearing it up for the Cubs on the base paths." So I do wonder if Alcantara is there, sure. Maybe they just keep Billy on the taxi squad in case an injury happens or something. But yeah, he's a fun name to keep in there because it's Billy Hamilton, especially
Mhm.
all of us growing up. He was the dude that was stealing all those bases.
Him and Dyson. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, man, those are some
Quentin
fun
Berry,
days.
Cub legend.
Yeah. Want to wrap up with some football. The Vikings are cooked and the Bears may be back. What a turn of events. What a turn of events. Did we record?
I don't think we
remember-
did. I don't think we did
Did
since
we-
JJ got us.
Okay, so because I remember we said the title was like
That's
NFL's
right.
back, but I couldn't remember if we
1-0.
talked after the first game.
I don't think we did, but I just know that Minnesota Vikings are 1-0 against the Chicago Bears this year.
I know we messaged.
Is
You sent us
JJ
plenty of messages about it. Trust me, I
Is
remember that.
JJ
Okay.
is JJ hurt or are they hiding him? Do you think JJ's the guy or do you think he's just a guy?
No, I think no, he's the guy. I'm not switching up just because of, one amazing comeback and then not a great game. Like I'm not gonna switch up on that.
Yeah.
No, I mean he's a rookie. He's coming off of a major injury. The O-line has been injured for the Vikings like all year. And as we know, this game is literally all about how much time can you give your quarterback in the pocket because you have Jalen Hurts for the Eagles, who has the highest time. Like I think he has the highest time on average to throw a football, but he throws the football like at one of the lowest air yards on average in the NFL.
Mhm.
And they win games. So like obviously there's some sort of correlation there. This is an O-line type of game. Like the Colts, O-line is unbelievable, but they have Daniel Jones. Now Daniel Jones still is a very, very good quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but and they have Jonathan Taylor, but still like that's again like this game's all about O-line. And when you have injuries, like the Vikings had 60% of their O-line was injured. So they had backups, and that's why there's a very, if you watch the game at least, like I woke up early and watched, half the game. It was a pretty obvious, difference in having healthy O-line and not. So I'm not really worried. He's going to come back, and he's going to be an absolute stud. He's got the weapons. Addison's back as well, so it's a pretty scary team.
Yeah, my fantasy team just got Addison back. We got Rashu back in a few weeks. The boys are coming together. We're 2-2.
Team,
so.
We lost neighbors yesterday, and we are struggling.
Oof.
We are still mourning. We're still in mourning because
Oof.
he was like my prized possession, and this is the
tough
league with
scene.
friends here at college. And we decided to do the league the night before the first game, and our punishment is either the milk mile, or you can choose to go to the school cafeteria for 2 hours from 5 to 7 during peak dinner time and play the guitar. So you have to go, bring a stool, play the guitar, and live stream it for 2 hours. Basically, just embarrass yourself. I don't know how to play the guitar. I don't know which I'd choose, but things are trending towards me having to take some guitar lessons because I have Caleb as my QB and Caleb's the GOAT, but without Malik Neighbors, my wide receiver depth is not looking good. So I may be playing the guitar at a college cafeteria near you very soon.
Yeah, better learn guitar, buddy.
Dude, I'm nervous. I'm actually nervous. Like after Neighbors went down, that's bad.
Yeah, that's not good. But I mean, kind of had a questionable like quarterback situation too. So it's not like Neighbors, going to be giving you a certain amount every night,
Right.
I mean,
I
he's
got
still a
Puka.
stud.
I got
He will get
Puka,
open,
so I'm
but
chilling.
oh yeah, Puka's been a friggin' demon.
Watching him in
He's
fantasy is
so
the
good.
most stress-free experience of my life because you're getting 15 targets and the dude is wide open every single play. Like his
Yeah.
route running is so insane, and then when he's not open, Sean McVay just dials it up, schemes him open, and he gets 15 more yards after the catch. Phenomenal ball
Mhm.
player, but all NFL aside, I guess kind of put a bow on this. Playoffs this week. I know as two baseball fans and a player, I feel like this is where everyone, players and fans alike, all lock in. And every pitch is huge. So we'll see if the Cubs can do it. I got them winning 2-0, and if they win this series, I said I'll be boots on the ground in Milwaukee, and I got to keep my promise. So as long as the Cubs can get me 2 more wins, I'll be more than happy to hop in my 2012 Ford Fusion and drive to Milwaukee Friday night.
I won't be there for the first 2 series, but if they make it to the NLCS, I think I'm like, if we make it to the NLCS, I will, whether that means flying home from college for a game, or I know I'll be back for a week in mid-October. And if we make the World Series, we will be there. Boots on the ground. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Like, I'm just getting giddy talking about it. Playoff baseball is back. The Bears are back, which is also really exciting. We didn't even talk about that. We'll talk about that next episode when they're 4-2.
You guys needed that block though. That was crazy.
That was
losing to Vegas would be. Yeah.
You know what? It would have been, but they didn't.
But they
did.
And
2-2 Bears.
Special teams stepped up. I feel like there's been so many more blocked kicks this year than any year already.
Like, there's 4 in week 3
everywhere.
Yeah. No, there was the Eagles have done it back-to-back weeks now.
Yeah. Well, the Eagles did it twice in week 3. They did it twice in one game. Yeah. And then they did it again last week.
I know it's fun. And like I guess Vikings reference here, but if they hadn't blown that lead to the Vikings, this is a 3-1 football team. So I'm trying to see some positives here. I'm trying to see some, like, the offense is scoring 20 plus. It's just that the defense is non-existent. Kind of like the Cowboys.
Caleb Williams has looked really good. Like, he has looked very good from a Vikings fan. Like, he's actually like he's using his wide receivers to the best of their abilities. Like, his wide receiver room is extremely good. DJ Moore, Ruma Dunze, and Luther Burden. Like, I mean, those are 3 really good weapons that I would hope he throws for at least 225 yards a game.
Yeah. Can he get 4K? Please, dude. Please. Just once in my lifetime.
Probably not, but maybe in the next few years. He runs too much.
Yeah. No, he does.
Like, I mean, having a guy that can run is very good, especially in this league of football.
There's still some worries, but Chicago may be back. Stay tuned. I think I saw the Blackhawks win last night too. Anyways, that's episode 10. Appreciate you both hopping on with me. Tomorrow, we will be locked in. I know, Blake, you're doing a live stream for the game, so check out @BlakeCowlex on Twitter. But yeah, you guys know what's up with Instagram, TikTok, all that fun stuff. I appreciate you all joining on to talk some ball with me, baseball, football, and yeah, have fun training. And I'm sure we'll talk after the Cubs blow out the Padres tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right.
See y'all later.
Thanks, guys.